Hi there. So I was asked by Voodoo Magic, who was really, when you think about it, was the genesis of me like streaming anything ever in the first place, to do a video on Criterion. I got my vanilla rooibos here tonight. There's like a kind of a fruit flavored, you know, caffeine-free tea at a Walmart that I was going to pick up tonight, and I was going to kind of like cycle through them throughout my next few videos. Hey, Corey, actually just listened to your song. Actually, it's pretty cool. Didn't get the thumbs it up because I listened to it on my iPhone and it's not put into my. I'm not signed in there, but I will thumbs it up after I finish this video. Check out Corey's song, which is wow. Sipping Southern Comfort. I wish I could. Unfortunately, dude, I'm on tea and herbal tea for a while right now too, as I go into my new diet. Tonight we're talking about Criterion, my Criterion Blu-ray collection. We're also going to dive into my very small. It's excellent, man. I have no like musical skills. My dad, amazing. Me, not so much. We're also going to dive into the Code Reds that I have, since there's a Code Red sale going on with Diabolique. I think that's still going on. But first off, I wanted to show you guys this. So I was walking into Walmart and with no intention to get anything. Now, I got there and there was so much temptation. I mean, I'm going on a trip in about a week, inshallah. So basically, I'm trying to not buy at all because I saw the place that I'm going and I saw one of the video stores there and it looks amazing. But I saw something I had to pick up. So this showed up. If you guys don't know, and you probably don't actually, because I haven't mentioned this a lot, but The Breakfast Club is definitely one of my top films of all time. And I do not have the Criterion edition of this film. Hey, Andy. But I've seen all these like slip covers and like kind of meant to look like a VHS case, right? This actually is a VHS case. There's a few of these out there. Only 3 showed up at my Walmart. This one, Jaws and E.T. I really think I'm going to have to get Jaws as well because, well, it's Jaws. So, because I wasn't going to open this because I have like a Breakfast Club, but it's only a DVD which has no features, so I do not have the one with features on it. So this one I will open up. So let us look in and see, for you guys, how they've done this. Is this just packaging on the outside? Yeah, we only got 3 here of each one, and I do want to get the others. I'm actually going to probably grab the Jaws one next. These are limited edition. So there we go. Cool. So it does. That's the 30th edition of Breakfast Club on the inside. So if you look on the inside of it, it is Blu-ray, but it is an actual, you know, it's a case. Kind of snaps together really good. It's very, very solid. I hope this is a sign of some things to come because we have the Breakfast Club on here. I really love this packaging. I completely fell in love with this when I saw it. I do recommend, if you've got a Walmart near you, check it out. Cinema One in Ontario, apparently, I was on it on Twitter. They had it listed which ones were out there. So let me just see if I can tell you guys actually what's out there. And I will definitely show that again and later on in the video. We are going to go into Criterion Blu-rays in a second. But I do think it's kind of important to, when something big, and I do consider this big, in the, so, you won't be able to see this very well, but this is a picture of like a stack of them there. So what it has, so just so you guys know, is E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Slapshot. Oh, I would love Slapshot. That's got a great cover. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which I will definitely get. I love the Need the Night, so I'm definitely jazzed by that one. Jaws, you know, I'm a horror fan. I gotta have Jaws. 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Fletch, and Backdraft. Only Backdraft seems like an odd choice, but if I was going to say when's the last time I saw a Backdraft, it probably was on VHS. So there is kind of a nostalgia factor into all those there. And of course there are Blu-ray editions that are probably, that are definitely already out. But I do like the fact that they didn't go with the edition that just had nothing on it that I originally had, actually. And they actually went with the one with the, the 12-part documentary, Hey, Kubrick lover, we're talking Criterion, so I think you're going to like some of these. You're going to find these very not meh. Always glad to see you here, especially when we're talking Criterion, man. I am talking Criterion tonight. I have to show you this first. So, Kubrick lover, you just came in here. I'm not sure if you got to Walmart today or not, but this is showing up at Walmart. These here. These are actual hard case VHS-style clamshell cases for Blu-rays. They're limited edition. They're collectors. There's only about 9 or 10 of them that are out, and they're only out for a short period of time. So you got like Jaws, Breakfast Club, Fletch, 16 Candles, Backdraft, stuff like that. Definitely grab them. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm like saving every single solitary cent. But that goes there with my. I love when Walmart did the Funkos. Yeah, exactly. And Thomas makes trip to Walmart. This was just something out there. Like all the other companies, Mill Creek and all of them that have been doing their kind of cases, and even like Shameless that started it all with their ones that look like cases, or a Criterion actually that I got here that kind of looks like a Betamax. Whoever did this, was it Sony or did Walmart do this themselves or Universal? Whoever did this, yeah, I guess in a way you did kind of start with the Stranger Things pack. I didn't really think about that, but this actually looks a bit more. It looks actually a bit more, as a guide that around the time, it looks a bit better. Oh, cool! I got to watch that. I got to catch up on some videos. I should be able to do that because lately I've been on a lot of pain stuff. So we're going to go through the Blu-ray section of my Criterion. Depending on the time and how I'm feeling, we may get into the DVD section as well. I do think some of my DVDs are actually a bit more impressive than my Blu-rays. But I did kind of want to talk about like BFI and Eureka and stuff like that too. But tonight I think we're going to stick with some of the these here. And hey, good evening, Wolf. Oh, dude, okay, I'm going to do my Criterions, but look at this. It looks like a VHS. It's a Blu-ray. It came from Walmart. Check it out. There's a Jaws one, man. There's a Jaws one of this. But if you're a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, this is actually going to be super cool. Because, Corey, look at this cover. See this cover? Look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's the same pose. You know that, though. So let's get into some of my favorite Criterions. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think that Criterion has ever steered me wrong on a movie. I've liked everything that I've gotten from them. I gotta watch that new video. Everybody's seen the video but me, Brian. Dude, I'm watching that as soon as I get off here. I listened to Corey's song before I came on here. I'm gonna watch Brian's video when I get off here. My night is planned. My night is planned. So first off, and in no particular order, because I took them in order, is Black Narcissus. And this is awesome. There are some great features on this one here. And of course, you have a much bigger collection, Brian, than I have of Criterions, like by far. But Black Narcissus is one that I really do love. It's a beautifully shot film. It looks gorgeous. It's extremely tense. The acting in it is fantastic, and the scenery, the cinematography, everything just comes together and makes this what I consider this perfect little drama. And yeah. If you've never seen this, this is Powell and Pressburger. Some people are like the Red Shoes are their go-to, or but this is mine. Kardoff cinematography is beautiful. It is amazing in this film, and if you've never seen Black Narcissus, please check it out because it's a movie that does deserve more attention. It's one of the less talked about Powell and Pressburger ones, and it's a shame because it's probably one of my favorites. Yeah, it is a really cool movie, Doug. Strongly recommend checking it out. There's some great features on there. We got a video introduction by filmmaker Bertrand. I'm not going to pronounce his name right. So we got audio commentary featuring Powell and director Martin Scorsese. There's a great video piece discussing the film and Powell. That actually is a really good video piece. A profile of Black Narcissus, a documentary featuring members of the Archers production team. Painting with Light, a documentary on Cardiff. Oscar-winning work in Black Narcissus. Incredible. So it was a good one to start with. And what's next? Well, one of the great directors of all time and one of the oddest films. Now, recently they put out something. There's something newer that came out from him, but this is one that I think is unheralded and not spoke about a lot. And that is Orson Welles' F for Fake. If you've never seen this movie, I do recommend it. It is a documentary. And it's a good time to talk about documentaries as Hulu and Netflix go into their documentary war with their fire documentaries now. Definitely. I'm guessing you got this one, Cubic Level, right? You haven't watched it yet? Dude, watch it. It's really cool. There's actually a lot of good features on here as well. What's really neat, and the one thing that I bought it like kind of like to see the movie. Did you like it, Andy? We really got a kick out of it, and we love the end portion of it. You know what I mean? I don't have to say anything else. We love the end portion of it, and what they did with F is for Fake. What's really cool is that there's a documentary on here that talks about all the movies that Orson Welles didn't make. All the ones that he had plans that didn't go through. Hey, Culture Training. He definitely revels in the moment. He does. And I think a lot of us can learn a lot from Orson Welles. There's a ton of great features on this one here. From a 1975 interview with Orson Welles, Orson Welles' one-man band, a documentary on his unfinished projects. Exactly. Citizen Kane is definitely a classic film, and it's a favorite of mine, but there's so much else that Orson Welles has done. It's not like Charles Laughton where he did one film. Orson Welles did some amazing work aside from Citizen Kane that people need to watch. It does, and you can see it. You can see the trickster, you can see the devil in the good way. I mean the devilment with Orson Welles in that film. Corey asked the question. I don't know, actually. I hope so. Valerie and her Week of Wonders. This movie was introduced to me by Criterion. I did not see it before this. I had thought that I'd seen this film, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. I said, yeah, that's one I've seen before, just by hearing the name. Now, we were going through like a time where we're buying a lot of Criterions, and we always picked out one that we never saw before, that we didn't know anything about. That was one of our things. Criterion never steered us wrong with that. So we looked at the trailer to this film, Valerie and her Week of Wonders, and it was visually stunning. We had very little idea of what was going to happen in the film, and we wanted to keep it that way. And we're glad we did. It's actually a very short film. It runs out like 76 minutes long. But it's an excellent film. They actually have some early shorts from the director here as well. And has anybody here seen Valerie and her Week? I'm sure Kubrick ever seen this. You didn't like Women in Love? I don't have that one. And it's one it's one Ken Russell one that I that I don't remember quite well. The Devils is one of my favorites, but I'm still waiting to see that come out uncut. I do have a copy of it, as you know. So far, the best copy of The Devils that's ever come out is the BFI release. Unfortunately, there's been no really uncut one. Definitely worth checking out, man. It's a different film. It's unusual. It's definitely not for everybody, so I can understand a Cubic Lover being kind of like iffy on it. But it's a Czechoslovakian film, and it's definitely like kind of like a part of the front of the Czechoslovakian New Wave cinema that was during that time period. So for that alone, I definitely think you should check it out. Just even if just to watch it, if you got like a film struck or whatever the hell they call that now. It doesn't come here in Canada, so I don't care. But if you got that, definitely check it out that way and see if it's one that you wanna pick up. I always recommend when there's a Barnes & Noble Criterion sale, if you're gonna buy stuff from it and you're buying your regular stuff, you're stocking up on your Criterions, Yeah, but isn't there something else come out now instead of Film Struck Kubrick Lover? Like there's a new one. It's their own fault. They didn't go international. They should have won international. If you bet the devil, see like two sides of one coin. I love that actually. Next up is one that I think we were all going to agree on, and this one stuck with me, and that is M. I saw this one when I was very young, and I think actually it was a good time to see it. It was gorgeously shot and beautifully acted by Peter Lorre. Peter Lorre steals this movie. Then I hope that all I can say is film, if whatever they're going to call themselves, be international, because that's the way that Hulu. It's the only way Hulu is going to win from Netflix, and I'm kind of pulling for Hulu over Netflix, to be honest with you. But I'll talk about that later. M is a brilliant film, and this is a fantastic edition. So if you don't have this one, definitely worth picking up. There's an hour-long like interview with a conversation with Fritz Lang by William Friedkin. I don't know if there's anything that Fritz Lang put out, and like even like the minor stuff that I don't kind of fall in love with when I see it. And I'm just a huge fan of Fritz Lang, and this was probably one of the first I saw. I didn't even realize it was Fritz Lang at the time down Netflix, but it is a gorgeous, wonderful film, and it is tense. I don't know if I've seen the remake of M, so I can understand him being livid about like something that he put so much of his blood, sweat, and tears into. This one is controversial, not just by people that have seen it, but by even the producers that put this together. And this is The Picnic at Hanging Rock. Peter Weir is one of those directors. No, it's not Sailor. I don't have Sailor. Peter Weir is one of those directors where I find you either kind of love him right away, or you really don't like him. I actually do like Picnic at Hanging Rock, but it took me a while to actually really be able to appreciate it for what it is. This is definitely a beautiful shot, like kind of like a slow film. Red Brown. But there's a TV show right now, Picnic at Hanging Rock, which I have not seen. I hear it's really good, actually. Yeah, a lot of people are frustrated by the ending. Now, when this came out again, because I originally had the DVD of this. My kids have the DVD of this now. The original one, the early ones. So I bought this edition here because I wanted to read the novel. I had never read the novel Picnic at Hanging Rock, and one of the things I do really have to talk about Criterion about is that I love when they do this. Whenever they put like a novel, like this is not like a booklet or a book or anything. This is an actual novel. This is a Picnic at Hanging Rock novel. And I did read it, so I thought, well, I'm going to read this novel that's going to clear up the ending of Picnic at Hanging Rock for me. Fantastic. Great novel. Does not clear up the ending. It's meant to be the way that it's meant to be. Oh, does it really? I didn't know that. I got like an Edgar Bay edition of Man of Fell Earth. I'd really love to get the Criterion one, especially if it's got a novel with it. Anytime I see a Criterion that it does include a novel, are you talking about Antichrist, guys? Well, I don't have those. But no, talk away on that stuff. Are you talking to Lars von Trier? But yeah, definitely check this one out, guys. It's gorgeously done. They did a great job on this transfer. I miss this type of box sets for Criterion. I loved when they did the dual format ones, and they put them together in these like in the more of a cardboard than they would have them in the plastic case. I really liked it. Yeah, Vampire has actual like the novel. I'm not sure if the novel or the screenplay or both, but that one I think the first edition did. I don't know if the new edition does or not. That's why I haven't picked it up yet. but it's one that I want to pick up in person because I want to see that it actually has it there. Vampire is a beautifully done film. Speaking of a film that's very beautifully done, and it's probably, if not my favorite, it's one of my top Fellini films of all time, and that is Amarcord. Amarcord was definitely an amazing film, and a very personal film for Fellini. He definitely dives into his own childhood with this one right here. It's quirky, it's fun, and I'm going to put this out there for people that can't quite get in to Bergman, because you got to find the right one. You got to find the right Bergman for you. Fellini was often lumped alongside Bergman. Is much more accessible. La Dolce Vita is fantastic. 8.5 is my favorite. I don't have a Cubic Lever, but it's my favorite Fellini film of all time. This is my second favorite one. I really do love Amarcord. La Dolce Vita is definitely a top list, but I love Fellini anyway. I think Fellini is a fantastic director, and definitely one that I would love to see them do like a whole collection of down the road. This is a gorgeous one. I'm going to open this up because I do love the way this one is packaged. It just gets the quirkiness. I come from I grew up originally like in a small area, and this has the feel of that, and I can understand. I guess this one kind of becomes is personal for me as well as it is for Fellini, because I'm a person that grew up in those in the small area. Hopefully my Royabus is done now. It's so hard getting used to tea without any sugar and milk. I think I would give 8.5 another watch. Wolf, 8.5 is one that I do think you have to be in the right mood to watch, but I do think it's a brilliant statement on the artist. The artist is a man, and the man is an artist. I actually thought about getting some tea with honey. That's what I need to do. I need something to. I normally do hoax, but ooh, good air. Put honey, put sugar and stuff in my tea. But right now, new diet, can't do it. The Lady Vanishes with Alfred Hitchcock. This is a fun film. Thanks, Corey. The Lady Vanishes actually includes another film on her called Crook's Tour, which is actually kind of fun as well. We are very much like Australia. Canadians, Australians, and the Brits were very, very similar. Miss Foy is missing. So I do really enjoy this one. And I love the fact that they put the 1941, kind of like the spin-off film on here as well. That is really neat. I love the video essay that was on here. Again, for next month. This is a good one. And how do I want to put this? Michael Redgrave is an actor that I do enjoy, but I do find him that there's times that he can become a bit stiff in some films. That's just the Redgrave style. Kind of like Michael Rennie. I find them both to get, but I think they're both fantastic actors. It's just the vehicle has to work with them, and this works with them. Yeah, oh yeah, there is actually. It was done in 1941. If you've seen The Lady Vanishes, there are two guys in this movie that are really super fans of what's it, cricket or something like that, and their characters get their own film. It did actually, The Killers. I got The Killers at Arrow Academy. I bought the two editions separately. But definitely check this one out if you've never seen this one. Exactly, that's what I mean. The character is supposed to be stiff, and he does a good job. Michael Redgrave is a fantastic actor. So don't think I'm throwing shade on Michael Redgrave. I'm not at all. Me, I throw shade on. This one may be controversial too, for a different reason. Oh really? The Lower Depths. I'll have to check that out. There's a lot that I need to. Next time there's a a Barnes & Noble sale, and I'm looking through some stuff. Cubic Lover, I might actually pick your brain. So, get some rest, Andy. Feel better. Rest up. It's almost the weekend, man. I don't have Salo, man. I'm sorry. I know that it's the perfect date film. But unfortunately, I had to woo my better half without sharing her Salo. Mulholland Drive. This is more of a me one. I do really like this. Of course, this was originally supposed to be. Oh, does it really? I gotta check that out. Yeah, I know. I usually miss out on those. This was supposed to be a TV series, actually, and so when they recently did like a best, movies of the last 20 years or something like that. Mulholland Drive was like a century. Thank you. It was listed on a lot of critics' lists as one of the best films of the century. I love Mulholland Drive. I don't know if I would go that far though. It is a masterfully done film. Actually, Slato is really that respected. And a lot of it has to do with Palo. Oh, really? They have the fade up. Interesting. I want to see that now. Did they do like a disc swap thing later on? Because I don't want the other disc. I kind of, I'm weird that way. Is then if a weird disc comes out with like a little quirk, I want the weird quirk one. Okay, damn it. I thought I was getting something special. Well, it's special. It's Mulholland Drive. Fantastic film. Critics, said like Brian said there, that's your favorite film of all time. Fantastic. Salo's hard watch, man. It's a one-time watch. Mulholland Drive is beautifully lyrically done. Can you imagine if this would have become a TV series? Do you think it would have lasted, or it would have? Maybe it's better that it never did become the series, because now it's become this critically lauded like darling of a film, and it's so weird. It started out. This was going to be his next Twin Peaks. That was the goal for Mulholland Drive. That's kind of how I feel about like a few of my different slasher films, actually. Oh yeah, Mulholland Drive is not something you can watch once. I don't think there's anything that David Lynch does where you can watch once and you say, yeah, I got it. I got the whole thing. You're not going to get that with Lynch. That's not the type of filmmaker Lynch is. Lynch is the type of filmmaker where you watch the movie, you enjoy it, you soak it in, you think about it for a bit, you watch it, you rewatch it. It's going to be something that's going to have. Lynch's films have high rewatchability factor, in my not so humble opinion. I would consider Lynch one of those directors that has a very high rewatchability factor, and because you can get different things out of them. And I know you're kind of meh on Twin Peaks Cubic Lover. You don't need to do drugs to enjoy Lynch. But if you're in Canada, you can do weed. But no, Lynch definitely. You don't need drugs to do Lynch. You will feel like you're already on drugs when you're watching Lynch, because he is that kind of strange. Lynch can be like the William S. Burroughs of a film, if you want to put it that way. And I do. It is part of his charm. And I think that's what made it so hard when people went in to watch the... No, actually, that's not a sign at all. Everybody's got the one that they like. At least you... I do agree with the hoax comment about like people throw around like this is pretentious or this is artsy or and then on the other side, the kind on the flip side, they'll go around like they'll say like, oh, this I don't this is my guilty pleasure, or this is what I'm secretly a fan of. Like, no, own what you like. It's there's no pretension, there's no guilty pleasure, there's no like, oh, this is my secret joy. It's okay. But Eraserhead, yeah. My favorite is Blue Velvet. That's my favorite Lynch film. It always has been my favorite Lynch film. I don't read William S. Burroughs now, but in college I read a lot of William S. Burroughs, actually. I read a lot of like different, some people, I read William S. Burroughs, and one of the other authors, I read a lot of Douglas Adams. Breakfast of Champions was like a book that I used to reread a lot. I had weird taste in reading. And I also read like John Saul as well. So I just, it was kind of all over the place. And some V.C. Andrews. One of your favorites? Nice. Now this one here, if you want, gotta love Laura Dern, man. But if you want to like look, see, that is my favorite Vonnegut novel. It really is. I love Breakfast of Champions. I watched it when I was really young. I read it when I was really young, and I read it over and over again. I actually had a dog-eared copy of Breakfast of Champions that I would just read over and over. And I think I got something out of it, different out of it every time that I read it. I was a huge Vonnegut fan. I grew up wanting to be, yeah, see, I grew up, I'll talk about this one second. I grew up wanting to be, like, aside from acting, like when I decided like I was going to do journalism, that was going to be my thing. Yeah, I wanted to be the next. I wanted to be Gonzo. I wanted to be the next, like the Gonzo guy, the guy that went in there, and God, it's killing me. Why am I not remembering his name right now? It's my favorite journalist. Please tell me who I'm trying to say, because my mind is totally drawn a blank, and it's really, really bothering me. I love all his books. The one on Hell's Angels. Thank you. Right. It was killing me. Hunter S. Thompson. I wanted to be him. I wanted to have that type of lifestyle and that type of experience. I probably wouldn't have lasted as long as I did if I was Hunter S. Thompson. Even my channel, the decision to not do any fancy edits or like do any like big scripts or anything like that, that was a tribute to Hunter S. Thompson, to be as completely gonzo and real as I could be when I started in this medium. Fear and Loathing is actually really good. I think you'll like it, man. I plead the fifth. I went to college in the 80s, but now, no, I wouldn't. I have kids, I have a family, I would not do anything like that. And I don't recommend it. Yeah, that's the sad part about it, but he was genius. Don't Look Now. I've had it up here for about a couple of minutes. I'm sorry, I'm still hurt by the loss of Hunter S. Thompson. Don't Look Now is one of those movies that you learn about like early on. You either kind of find it on your own, you fall in love with it, or like you're a film school student and you realize that if you ever want to do like work in film and in editing, this is your primer. This is your starter. This is what you watch. If you want to edit a film, you watch Don't Look Now. This is a masterclass in editing, and it is geniusly done. If you have not seen Don't Look Now, and I know Corey obviously has because he went up, please definitely pick this up. Yeah, he is definitely a genius, and there's been some amazing stuff that's been put out, but this hit me. Have you not seen this, Trooper Club, for real? Please, the next time there's like a half-price sale or something, check this out. And in all seriousness, Brian, I think you're going to like this. Go In Blind. It's not about the linear like progression of the story. It is about like the film of itself. I think that they are starting to do more like horror and sci-fi. Jesse, actually, anything with Jane Agutter, man. The Coupling. Remember Couplings? Yeah, we do Walkabout. And I still need to get Walkabout because, like, any person that grew up back in the day, I had a special love for Jenny Agutter, and as a couple people say, it was like your ticket to nudity. It was a Jenny Agutter film. All right, so this is the last Criterion that I did pick up, and this is not the last one I'm going to show you guys. I got a bunch more, just not doing them in any particular order. And I watched this, and I love this movie. I love the stuff that's on it. I love these type of comedies. And that is It Happened One Night. So Clark Gable, Claudette Colbert, they have amazing chemistry in this film. It's wonderfully shot, incredibly written, and honestly, guys, pick it up. Pick it up. You know, pick this up. There's definitely a few. His Graffiti is another one that belongs in like in this type of vein. Arsenic and Old Lace is another fantastic film. Did Criterion do Arsenic and Old Lace? Because if they didn't, they really should do Arsenic and Old Lace. That is a really kind of one of those benchmarks for me in the screwball comedy. This has some great features on. Actually has a full-length documentary on Frank Capra called Frank Capra's American Dream, and honestly, guys, check it out. Next up is one that a lot of people wanted, but when some people got it, they weren't happy about it. Was it because of the print? No. Was it because of the features? No. It was because, I don't know if I have or not. I'd have to look into it. It's probably like Francis or Francisco. But I'd have to, I got to watch the documentary again. It's been a while. Scanners. So Francisco sounds right then. Scanners, I think, is really fun and a really cool film. Scanners is a movie that I'm very surprised is on a Criterion label. I am Canadian, and I think I get stuff out of this that some people won't, because I know the streets that this was filmed on. I know this movie as you know, growing up as a Canadian kid. Cronenberg was huge, and I watched these movies over and over again. Now, there are some people that watch this, and Scanner Cop is never getting a Criterion release. We're lucky if it gets a Scream Factory release, man. When you know. Yeah, this is one I was surprised with. It is more horror. It is kind of different. Yeah, there are actually a couple. There were 4 sequels done. They're all produced by Pierre David, who was kind of like maybe the Montreal, I guess, sort of, if you want to call him that, Roger Corman. He like produced a lot of like exploitation type films. There were Scanners like 2, and there's Scanners 3, The Takeover, and then there were Scanners Cops 1 and 2, where it got sequels. Scanners limited release? I don't think so, but you know, definitely cool. Eventually, this is going to come out in a plastic case. If you can get this case, I do recommend it. Really cool film. The lead is extremely stiff, but the lead is kind of supposed to be stiff. He's not Michael Ironside. You got to go up acting against Michael Ironside. That's always going to be a hard thing to do. I love the artwork on this, so I just got to look at it. But of course, the classic artwork, the fantastic, is right here. Now, what I love about this movie is one of my favorite actors with one of my favorite TV shows is in this movie, in the most memorable scene that you're going to remember. And that's Ludo Grande. Ludo Grande was a writer and an actor, and if you remember Scanners at all, and then what you remember, Shivers is my favorite, Adrian. Shivers and Rabbit are my 2 favorites. I have them on Arrow over there, and they are fantastic. The Arrow releases are the must-get releases for those films, by the way. Lynn Lowery is in Shivers, and she's amazing in that. But yeah, Ludo Grande is in this one, and he does incredibly. So let's grab some more. The Brood. I don't have The Brood yet. I got to get The Brood. It's a fantastic film. I love The Brood. Oliver. Ribbon Shivers are your... See, they're the two. They're the classics. I like The Brood. It creeps me out. Brood is one that does creep me out. I was always creeped out by Shivers and the scene in the hallway with the little, like, you know, the creature, that thing that goes into the mouth on the door. That freaked me out, the Barbara Steele sequence. But I just really love the film. They make you laugh. See, maybe it's different people, like different things scare different people. The kid Broods scared the crap out of me when I was a kid, when I was young. I'm not even lying. They did. They freaked me out. I was like, should I have kids at the point? It's not Ewoks, man. Yeah, I get what you mean. But for me, I found it creepy. The Man Who Knew Too Much. See this? Here's my controversial statement of the night. This is a better version of the film. There is another version of this film, which is actually very good. A very serviceable, very nice, very well done Hitchcock done remake of his own film, with a wonderful song by Doris Day. But this is better. Peter Lorre plays an amazing villain. Yeah, he did, and can you imagine the job he did too, in his. And it's very, like, the wife is actually has a huge part. She's very cool. She's like an Olympic what's it, like, shoot, like she shoots. This is kind of a badass female character when badass female characters really didn't exist a lot. But Hitchcock made one, and we were like kind of blown away when we rewatched this. I like Que Sera Sera, but this is a better film. It's tightly edited. Runs fast at a quick, 75 minutes. Strongly recommend it. Great film. Three of my favorite Criterions are coming up next. So the next three that I'm going to show you are ones that, if you do not have them, I 110% recommend, having these in your Criterion. If you haven't started collecting Criterion before, she'd have a hard life, man. Get these. Like, these next three are musts. In my opinion, a must in anybody's movie collection. So if you're new to my channel, these three films, and you want to know a little bit about me, I don't know if I can, but if you want to see, things go up in the chat and it doesn't like link. But if you want to, like, just do a comment in the comment section down below and link your song video there. That way it's going to stand here forever, as opposed to like going in a stream where not a lot of people may see it. Same with you, Kubrick Lover. If you want to link your video, anybody that ever wants to link their videos, they got a new video coming out, something that they're or writing or something that they're passionate about. This is a movie club. So this is a collaborative medium. Feel free to link anything in the comment section down below, and I definitely will put a like on it unless it's something really mean, and put like a. Hopefully more people get to see it. So this is Blowout. As everybody knows, I'm a huge fan of Brian De Palma. He's one of the great directors, in my opinion, and one of the most unheralded directors out there. The recent De Palma documentary, like Sean Moore, light on him, but for years he really didn't. Is your favorite? It actually is my favorite. I'd have to go through because I really love a lot of De Palma stuff. But this one you need to own. Anybody that does not have this, your collection is not complete without Blowout. I got to see that video afterwards. Hopefully you like them. Hopefully you're not like cursing me on ones that you picked up. But definitely check this out. This is one of my favorite Criterion covers of all time because it's literally the most heartbreaking cover for me. As you see a man's kind of life just unraveled in this one like snapshot. His whole life is just unraveled. in more ways than one. And definitely see this movie. Nancy Allen, John Travolta, John Lithgow. I don't have the Blu. I have the DVD of that one. I got to get Criterion that one. There's lots of Criterions, man, that I still have to get. This one coming out. So I thought it came loose, but it was actually the huge booklet. Back when Criterion did huge booklets, guys, and didn't do like maps, because you know, not a fan of the maps. Next up, Kiss Me Deadly. This is probably one of my favorite films of all time. Ralph Meeker is amazing in this, and I can't even say the amount of times that I've watched this film, and I do love this Criterion edition of it. It is incredible, and I love the cover. It's pretty much but it's a wonderful film, Wolf, and it's one that I think gains with people. There's some movies that I think that lose you on a rewatch, that you think, oh, this is fantastic, and you probably should have left it there and not rewatched it again. Texas Chainsaw Massacre stands out as one of those movies that, oh, the first time you see it, like the remake, 2003 remake, it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. I actually did a fairly decent job. But when you rewatch it, again, you realize it doesn't stand. In my opinion, this, you know, it doesn't stand the test of time as a remake or as a script. But Kiss Me Deadly, definitely, guys, strongly recommend you check this out. If you like movies like Repo Man and stuff like that. Kiss Me Deadly was directed by Robert Aldrich, I think. Yeah, Robert Aldrich directed this one here. Check it out. It's a beautiful cover. It's a beautiful one, and a nice little story behind it. I was having a really shitty day, like a super shitty day. Actually, if I'm correct, Mickey Spillane is actually interviewed. It's a huge interview with Mickey Spillane on the back on this one. So you might want to check that out. I think it runs about an hour long. A documentary on Mickey Spillane. It's called Mike Hammer's Mickey Spillane. I think if I'm correct, I think he really liked it. But yeah, so I was having a really shitty day, and we went through through the Avalon Mall. Trust me, you'll like it better than you like Pulp Fiction. Hey, Boredom Strikes, thank you, by the way, so much for that comment on my video. I haven't got a chance to respond or anything to it, so I'm responding right now. Really did appreciate it, and it did kind of help make my day there, which wasn't going the best, not gonna lie to you. So that was awesome. Thank you. So what's next in the Criterion catalog that everybody should own? So those last two, Kiss Me Deadly, Blowout, everybody should own. You know, no doubt about it. Those are Criterions. They should be in your collection as movies alone. Sweet Smell of Success. If you enjoy great writing in a film and amazing dialogue, then you got to have Sweet Smell of Success. Stars Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis, two actors that, especially Burt Lancaster, were extremely underrated over the years, and this. You cannot say this was just okay, man. Sweet Smell of Success was a brilliant film, and as a writer myself, this is one of the ones that gets me. The writing in this film, the dialogue writing in this film, is so razor sharp, and that's when people watch this. That's kind of what you hear. The dialogue, it's just razor sharp, on the nose, amazingly done dialogue. Sweet Smell of Success. If you've never seen this one, definitely check it out. Now, one of your favorite Criterions, but it's one that you own, right, Cubic Lover? And it is one you should own, actually. even if it's not your favorite film of all time, it does have a great like definitely has like a great. You don't own it? You should own it. It's man. It also has a great documentary on James Wong Howe as well, like cinematographer, 1973 documentary about like Howe, and it's. Did you watch all the features, Brian? Did you watch all the features? You got the Master Cinema version? Neat. I actually would like to know if there's any different features. I would actually rebuy that film to get like the features. Now let's see if you guys like my other Criterion choices here. This is one that I'm going to say everybody owns, because for a lot of people this is the Criterion. Some people are going to think, oh, is it Seven Samurai? You know, is it one of the Bergman films? No, it's a film by a director that only directed one film, and it is astounding. And that is The Night of the Hunter. Exactly, a classic. This is my dad's favorite film. The original, not the remake, of course. But definitely check this one out. It is an amazing, incredibly done film. It's almost sad. Yeah, it actually had Richard Chamberlain, if I remember correctly, Kubrick level. You can look it up, but I'm pretty sure that was Richard Chamberlain in the remake of Night of the Hunter. To make his only film, and you kind of wonder what he could have done and where he could have went from here. But it's kind of got this amazing mythos of being this kind of like perfect. Yep. This perfect film, and definitely does like a amazing job with it. There's great features on it. It's one that I think everybody yeah, exactly. It is an awesome film, something everybody should own. There's a great documentary on the second disc that I highly recommend, and yeah, definitely, like, Criterion does not like steer you wrong very often. You may not like every one of their releases, but for me, I have so far. I haven't found anything like I found ones that I've liked more than others, but I've always found something that's drawn me back into watching and rewatching these films, much like this one here by Godard, and that is, of course, Breathless. They did an amazingly beautiful package of Breathless. And you really like stocked up on that, didn't you? And if you've never seen this movie, please. It is one of the. It's definitely one of, like, I use the benchmark word a lot here. One of the benchmarks in the French New Wave cinema. I do love this movie. I completely fell in love with the actress, Jean Seberg, and I think that Belmondo is just super cool in this movie. You like Weekend? I can't disagree with that. Breathless is mine, but I can see why The Weekend would. It's what resonates with you, I think. But this one here, it just stuck with me. I don't think I'll ever be Jean-Paul Belmondo cool. But I wish, right? Because there's just another utter coolness to that film. Just another brilliance that I really love. We've lost some people here that are gonna miss out on the good stuff. Oh, no, I don't have. That's the only Hitchcock Criterion I don't have yet is Notorious. I really need to get that. I'll probably grab that in the next sale, actually, because I've grabbed all the other Hitchcocks that have come out so far. We gotta get to the silent one they're putting it too. Me too. I don't think I've gotten through all the special features. There's a ton of them on this one here. Actually, early on my channel, I'm not sure if you guys remember or not, but I actually did a draw, basically a contest, and this is what the person won, was a copy of Criterion's Breathless when it had just come out. So I actually went to HMV, bought Breathless, and I shipped it out to somebody at the time. So that's when I used to do like, I had like 20 viewers, so easily somebody could have won. Do I have any Criterion Westerns? There's a couple that are coming up there, Jesse. I'm a huge Western fan. I don't have enough Criterion Westerns though. Next up is Ace in the Hole. Again, if you've never seen it, great film. Love it. I love the way this is done. This is one where it's a Billy Wilder classic, and this is one where you can actually put in that type of booklet, and it works because it makes sense for the for the film. Definitely check it out. I think you're going to like your Kubrick Lover. I really do. Check it out through the library. You work at a library? That's cool. I would love to work somewhere like that. It would be so much better than where I work now. But it pays the bills, right? But Ace in the Hole, definitely worth checking out. I don't have either one of those, Jesse, but I want them both. This is one of the only that I have from this director, actually. Which is a shame, because I actually do like this director I'm about to show. I think Heaven's Gate was one that had to grow its audience over the years. And I think it has. A lot of people, when they originally saw Heaven's Gate, I think, kind of didn't know exactly what to think of it. But I think that over the years it's gotten a lot more love. I think, Jesse, now Heaven's Gate is actually getting a lot more love than it used to. But Dazed and Confused. You gotta love Dazed and Confused. It's Richard Linklater. It's one of my favorites that he did. I love the one he did recently. And I love this. See, Frank Henenlotter in a documentary, VHS documentary, actually said, kind of like, F Criterion, they make boring covers. But I think this is actually a really cool cover. This is probably one of my, is one of the better Criterion, like, when it comes to packages, the way that they did it. This one included like a poster. And the booklet on this is actually really, really cool. So I strongly recommend checking that. Boyhood, guys, was not one of my favorite films. I'm not sure if that's on Criterion or not, or it's probably getting a Criterion. But Boyhood was not one of those that I really took to. It seemed more like an experiment than an actual film. But you know, maybe a rewatch would make me like it a bit better. Everybody Wants Some is great, actually. I think it's very underrated, Jesse. I love Everybody Wants Some. Everybody Wants Some, Dazed, Confused definitely are kind of do go together. It's definitely a spiritual sequel to that film. And it's definitely better than Boyhood. I'm just going to put that out there. For me, anyway. Videodrome. I have the Arrow edition of this as well because I'm a big fan of Videodrome. I'm a huge fan of this film. I'm not a huge fan of the actor James Woods as a person, but I'm a huge fan of James Woods' acting abilities. Liked it better than that. Wow, that is because Dazed was good. I'd have to go back and rewatch them both again to see which one I found better. But I did really like. They both resonated with me very strongly, actually. Videodrome, again, an incredible one. And for, like, I just showed you guys like a VHS like thing. They did like their kind of their Betamax edition of this. Much like a lot of this stuff, you kind of got to watch it and rewatch it. I think Rob Bottin did the making of this. Actually, I think you're correct. No, Rick Baker was the makeup artist. So I'm not sure if Rob Bottin worked on it or not, but Rick Baker did like a lot of the major effects on here with Visor Lennox. So Michael Lennox did a lot of like the prosthetic and video makeup. Oh, I wouldn't have guessed either. So You knew it as well as I did. Oh, so you wanted to know about a Western. Let's show you Western. And this is classic Red River with Howard Hawks. I really do like this film. It's one that I've always liked. I was surprised I got a Criterion release. James Wood just bought it. I cannot even read his Twitter feed. I just can't do it. But Red River, and it's definitely an amazing package. The book, I got to take the book on this one. It is great. It's a great read too, actually, by Borden Chase. And here it is right here, blazing guns on the Chisholm Trail. I wish more Criterions would include novels with them, because they have put out some really classic stuff, and I think it would be a great way. You know, I'm speaking as a dad, and kind of as hopefully as an educator of sorts. I want to see people read more. And I'm a movie guy, but I love that when people tell me that they kind of read stuff as well. Pick them up, watch me. That'd be actually kind of cool. I found that some of the later Criterions haven't been as well packaged. That they've actually gotten more. You know, I'm not a big fan of like them like chintzing out on some of their booklets and that type of thing, and just putting things online. That's kind of like a no. But yeah, I do love Criterion. You guys know I love Criterion's work. Oh, definitely no spoilers. And I don't think they should have, because that was a really thing that was really well done. One of the things that sets Indicator apart in the UK and is like the booklets that they do. Hey, some of the Django movies deserve a Criterion release. But when Criterion does it, they knock it out of the park. They don't half-ass it. Criterion got their name for a reason. And honestly, that original reason was because they were the king, the Laserdisc. They brought in like commentaries. They really got they helped start like the whole kind of the feature thing that we got now, and that we want to get back to, like getting more commentaries on newer films and that as well. The Criterion were in the forefront of that. Criterion were much more. If you look at their early stuff, their Laserdisc stuff, it was much more of a not so much of the you know, these are the best films that are ever made type of thing. These were like, these are the films that we can get. Yeah, they had Citizen Kane on Laserdisc, RoboCop, but they also had some cheesy stuff, and there's stuff that I sort of it's kind of weird. It's oh, I wonder what they would do for a sub-label. That's actually an interesting idea. Can you imagine Criterion trying to take on like the big genre labels with Criterion edition of like some genre label? If they could get the right like person to head it up in acquisitions, that would be fantastic. Yeah, Eclipse would be a sub-label, but I think of Eclipse as a sub-label in the way that Aerodrome is a sub-label of Aero. Eclipse is you know, it's no frills. You know, get the movies, kind of feature-free type of thing, and it usually comes in packs. They're, for the amount of films that are on there, they're fairly inexpensive. Aerodrome is like Aero's edition of like is their Eclipse, where they would basically do like a no kind of a no frills type of thing with certain films, and they'd have like ones that would, you know, be kind of their, this is good enough for DVD, but we don't have a good enough print for Blu-ray, and those would be like the Aerodrome as opposed to Aero. But you probably know that already, so I'm probably preaching to the choir. Next up is an early one for me. Here's a director that everybody at least has some Criterion of, and if you ever watch any Criterion hauls, you usually see the director Wes Anderson come up a lot. Like, I got the latest. I just got back from Barnes and Noble, and I want to show you what I got. And first off, I had to pick it up, and so I got this Wes Anderson movie. Yeah, just, I'm serious. Go to any Criterion Hall when a Wes Anderson film has come out, or like even if it hasn't. It tends to be, this is the gateway drug for a lot of people. It is a Kubrick Club for Brian, like it is. If you watch it, you see, like, you watch a lot of Criterion like halls and videos and stuff. Everybody picks up the. What did I miss on the Hills of Eyes? Did he chintz it on the disc? FYE. They did that with my Reanimator. But yep, Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's actually a fun one. Yeah, different. So, this is pretty cool, and I do like Wes Anderson. I don't like everything Wes Anderson. Oh, actually, that's not on Cool Duder. Actually, I like Cool Duder, and I like Wet Movie One and all those guys. But no, that's pretty much, if you can go on, and I don't mean like a big YouTuber. Just go on any YouTuber that has a haul from Criterion, myself included. Obviously, it's right here. You're going to see that. Like, I think you would like Fox, actually. It's a fun one. George Clooney does the voice. It's one of the more beautifully done ones. I do like stop motion animation. Yeah, screw that steelbook, man. It looks really pretty on the outside, but you get it at home and you open it up and you're missing the best disc. But yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I do have some Wes Anderson in my collection. There are some that I really like, so I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to and say that I don't. I just think it's really funny that when I started watching Criterion video halls, it would be like, and this is Wes Anderson, and this is the latest Wes Anderson, and oh, there's also this Wes Anderson. Hipster pretentious. I don't know. Like you, who's that said? Was it you that said that pretentious is used a bit too much? I like the Wes Anderson movie that nobody likes. Do you know what that is? Can you guess? It's like one pretty much everybody says, no, this isn't a good Wes Anderson film, and I'm like, I really love this film, but nobody actually likes it. No, actually, I'm not a big fan of Life Aquatic. Actually, I got it. I got it in my collection. My better half's a marine biologist, but no, I like the Darjeeling Limited, and I know most people hate on that one, but I actually did like Darjeeling. Yeah, I like that wolf. A lot of people don't like it. I love the music in it. I just love the style of it. But that's one of the ones that's stuck with me. You hate that film? See, there you go. Two sides of a coin for a film. Bro, Tenenbaums is okay. I got that one too. Here. You know what's really cool though? You want to talk about getting into kind of more, I'm not sure, more giallo stuff. I'm not sure if you want to call this giallo or not, but the title has a giallo feel to it. And that is Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion. Isn't that the most giallo style title ever? Is it not? Come on, man. And this is a great. I actually love this film. Not everybody, it's not for everybody, but I really did like it. It's by Ilo Petri. A lot of great features on there. A 60-minute documentary about Gianna Maria Volante. There's an interview with Ennio Morricone. There's incredibly done. There's a 90-minute documentary on the director himself. If you're interested in Ilo Petri and as a documentary filmmaker, then I definitely check this out. Even if you're so on the film, there's a great 90-minute documentary on this director, and Criterion really does it. They really they swing for the fences, and they bring up some great documentaries, some great things that I think, man, it's got the Morricone score. Can't go wrong with that, right? So it's called Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion. There we go. I'll get it out. Okay, next up is one of my favorite Hitchcocks that came out from Criterion, and that is Foreign Correspondent. Not only do I love the cover of this one, I love the film. I really think that this one is in Alfred Hitchcock's library of films is definitely an underrated one. It's definitely a classic. I really, really like this. Joel McCrea. Joel McCrea is one of those guys that I think people underrate Joel McCrea. I really do. As a Western actor, as a straightforward leading man, people do underrate Joel McCrea, and he does do like a great job in a lot of Westerns as well. It is actually is really pretty good. Sometimes don't you just go, Brian, and just dive into the features first, because they're just so good on some of these releases. So let's get into a couple here that I'm not going to lie, I got them because they mean a ton to me, and they are box sets. I have 2 Criterion Blu-ray box sets to show you. I'm moving these out of the way so I can show you this. And first up is the utterly amazing Jacques Demy set. Then my video is timed perfectly, because I did not know that, because I'm not close to any Hamilton books. But if they've got like a sale on, especially on Criterions, now's the time, guys, to pick up some of these here that you mightn't have. So Jacques Demy, did you really the Citizen? Let me know what you think of it, man. Seriously, I hope you like it. Now the Jacques Demy set is incredible. Umbrellas is a fantastic film. I stand by that. It's not my favorite though. It's almost everybody's favorite. But this movie right here, The Young Girls of Rochefort. This is incredible. My better half had told me about it. This was a movie that she watched a lot when she was a kid. She would fantasize, I don't think she'd mind me saying this, about like being one of the young girls. And what's really cool is it has Catherine Deneuve and Francois Dorlec in it, and they are real life sisters. Actually, they were, and they do play sisters in this. Gene Kelly, I think, is in this one as well. This is a musical comedy. There's a serial killer in the film. I'm not joking. There is a serial killer in this film. There's a lot put in this movie. Now, if you're not familiar with the director Jacques Demy is a French director who was very influenced by the Busby Berkeley musicals and the film noirs of the day. So you got to see a lot of this like kind of like extravagance, and his films were extremely beautiful. I don't have Belle de Jour yet, and that's one that I do agree is probably your greatest role, bar none. But it's one that I do need to pick up, and I have a lot that I have to pick up. I'm behind you when it comes to these, but definitely this one here. If you haven't seen this one, no, that's not the only one that I'm going to mention. On the Criterion, yeah, you asked for this, dude. I delivered. I promised, and I keep my promises. Oh yeah, sorry. So this is Donkey Skin, which I was searching for ages for my better half. She's a huge fan of this film, called Podin, actually, in French, and this is a beautifully twisted. You know Grimm's fairy tales, and I know you know the story of Cinderella, and you know the story of Snow White, and Rapunzel and all that. But you know the story of Podin. Podin was, so basically what this is there's a princess played again by the lovely Catherine Deneuve, who was in a lot of his films, and so she plays 2 roles. She plays her mother, who dies at a young age on her basically on her deathbed. Where else she's going to die? She dies in bed, and she makes her husband promise, the king, that he will not marry somebody until he finds somebody that's as beautiful and gorgeous as she is. She's a little vain. He agrees to this, and over the years, like he see his daughter grows to be a young woman who looks like his deceased wife. So the king gets it about himself, gets the idea that, what's a good idea? If it's time for me to get married, maybe just maybe I should kind of marry my daughter. I'm not kidding. No, this is the way the story goes. So the idea is basically she has a fairy godmother that comes and talks to her. They kind of hang out a bit, and she gives her like ways to like keep her father at bay. But what had happens is he has this like donkey that that pretty much like gives gold, right? So she says, kill the donkey as like a sacrifice to me, and bring his skin to me, and I'll and then, you know, that'll be the ultimate like show of love, and I'll marry you. So he does, and he brings the skin to her, and in the night she actually runs away with the donkey skin on her, so that she doesn't have to marry her dad, obviously. But anyway, great film. None of you guys are listening to me right now, but that's okay, because you're having conversations on your own. Well, they have like a lot of really good films there. I thought Lola was really well done. And of course, you know, we want to see one of his more kind of a, I guess this would be kind of like a kind of a film noir type one, which is Bay of Angels. But I do recommend Jacques Demy. If you've never like checked out, of course it sounds weird. It's a Grimm's fairy tale. But yeah, definitely check it out. And yes, I have the box set. Not the one that got canceled by everybody, because I bought it at when they did the sale. These aren't art films, though. Don't think of those of Jacques Demy like some of his films as kind of the French art films. But those are definitely kind of a more of the classic Hollywood style. So I do got to show this, and this is Zariichi. For some people, before the Bergman set came out, this was kind of the gold standard for Criterion. This is the one that everybody wanted, and I'm gonna. I don't. I wish I had because it's part of that BBS box set, man. You want to watch part of the first one? They're good films, but I'll be honest, Cubic Lever, don't watch them in don't watch them in order. Don't watch them. Well, watch them in order, but don't watch them like one after another. They're not movies to binge. They're great films, but they're not movies to binge because there is like a formulaic aspect to it, to the film themselves. So definitely like space them out. They're fun watches. You'll enjoy them. Some are better than others, obviously, the same as in any film series. But it's no, I wouldn't say binge it, because you're going to binge it. That's like binging like, and I don't binge James Bond either. I'll watch certain ones, like I'll watch a couple, like I'll do like 3 or 4. But I find that if you watch like too many, especially movies that rely on a specific formula, that you can lose a lot of translation if you're watching one right after the other. It's a bit, it's not a lights out. I'm not sure. I'm not good with like telling weight. So, but I'll open it up here. I want to show you guys the set itself, because I do think this is a gorgeous set. Yeah, I find when you binge a movie, a lot gets lost in translation. That's why. Now, there's something else to show you with this set, and I will show you in a second. You can beat something to death with this thing. You should, well, if you were here when I was doing my my Harry Potter box set one, then you'll actually know how heavy sets can get. And it's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. The movies are. Do you like the Japanese samurai films, Wolf? Hey, welcome, Dekatana. Well, Kurosawa is a master. What did you just watch? Oh, I got to show you the book. Yeah, I got to show you the book. So this is the book that comes out each one. Great. Ones that don't have pictures. Each film is represented by artwork from a different artist. And it is utterly gorgeous. It is hardcover. It is amazing. And I do strongly recommend it. Yeah, not going to lie, I do recommend it. And I got to see which way is up for this damn thing. Seriously, I don't know which way is up. Okay, so... I'm going to say this side is up. It's one that when the Criterion sale comes on, I recommend it. It's definitely one to get. Akira? Yeah. This is good. Do you remember Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer? Do you want me to get some of my Criterion box, like DVDs? Do you guys want to see some Criterion DVDs tonight as well? Or have I outstayed my welcome for this video? Criterion DVDs. Okay, let's do some. Because I did start collecting Criterion originally on DVD. So let's grab. You'll see some of my favorites actually are not on Blu-ray but on DVD. I'm not sure if I'll do them all, but let's do these. Let's start with these. Hamlet. So this is one that Cubicle Lover City that Brian says he hasn't seen yet, but this is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. This is one of my better half's favorite films. I don't have any clip sets. I really got to get some. Definitely, I love this movie. But as you guys know, I'm a huge Hunter S. Thompson fan. I idolize the guy. So, and this is really well done. Actually, selection of Hunter S. Thompson's correspondence read by Johnny Depp. There's a bunch of features on here as well. This is so well done and such a weird packaging. I love the packaging for this film. Next up is a few of these have Blu-ray release. I originally started collecting Criterion, and oh, welcome, Uncle. We have a new viewer here, so welcome the new viewer to the movie club. Welcome to the movie club. You're now an official member. The Royal Tenenbaums, Wes Anderson. Got to have some Wes Anderson. Got to have like some Wes Anderson cred in there. So Royal Tenenbaums. It's not my favorite. It's pretty good. I think I like the Saturday Night Live kind of like horror spoof of Wes Anderson as much as I like a lot of Wes Anderson stuff where they talk about like, you know, the kind of like almost like a Strangers type Purge type of thing. Now we're getting into some like kind of, you mean this one here? Chasing Amy? Yeah, I have this one. This was the only one that I found at like a dollar store. I bought this one at a buck or two. It was literally $1. I've never bought a Criterion. Well, the one Criterion I got for a little bit cheaper. But I actually do like this film a lot. I'm a huge fan of Kevin Smith, though. I like a lot of his early films, the Jersey films. I was never like kind of a big fan of some of his other work. Now, next up is an early one. I think this one's still in print. I can't be sure. It's a very early one, and that is The Last Wave by Peter Weir. Yeah, Armageddon is sadly Criterion. Exactly. The Last Wave, I actually really do like this. When I first saw this, now this is Richard Chamberlain right here, but does that not look a little bit like Kevin McCarthy from like Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Because when I picked this up, I'm like, is that Kevin McCarthy from Invasion of the Body Snatchers? And I turn around, no, it's Richard Chamberlain. This is a really good film, actually. Hey, John. Very different. Yeah, that definitely has a feel of like, thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only person. I'm not going insane. Next up is one that I think John will appreciate. John Steele just got here. So this is one that I think that he's going to appreciate, and that is the Beastie Boys collection. So BC Bites had a lot of videos that were done by director Spike Jonze. It's all about watching it at the right time, Uncle. That's the thing. It's all about seeing the film at the right time. There's a lot of films that that kind of went, well, I was meh on at first, that I didn't really like, and I watched it under the right circumstances, and I really enjoyed it. Seven was one of those films. Seven is one of those movies that you would think I would love immediately, but I watched Seven, David Fincher's Seven, in a room where everybody else fell asleep. I was the only person left awake, and that definitely affected my experience of watching the film. So sometimes you just got to be in the right mood at the right time. A film is going to hit you, and it may never hit you that way again. But luckily sometimes it does. So that's why it's always good to give a second chance to a film. This unfortunately does not have Fair Rate to Party on it. I was very disappointed to find that out. It's really kind of neat though. There are different videos on here, and they're done with different camera angles. So you can actually like use your remote to see them through different camera angles. So yeah, that was a lucky find. Next up is Rushmore. This is probably one of my favorite Wes Anderson films, and a lot of that has to do with I really love Bill Murray, and I do like the coming of age films. I'm a big fan of coming of age films. I recently watched what's it called? Oh, I'll show you guys in a minute. Actually, it's actually really cool. It came in 2012, but you know, kind of a fun one. And this one here, they always said that Wes Anderson gave his movies to Criterion. Oh no, these aren't recent pickups. Voodoo Magic, who's on here right now, actually requested a video on Criterion, so I aim to please. But yeah, Rushmore, definitely worth checking out. Next up is an Alfred Hitchcock classic, and that is the 39 Steps. Again, a film that I did fall in love with early on at a young age, and I saw this one, like Robert Demy, is definitely on the man, you the man, voodoo man. Part of the reason that I do this. Favorite coming of age film is American Graffiti. Not a bad film, man. Not a bad film at all. If what you have to watch a Criterion copy, definitely worth checking out. Brian Cox, damn right. I'm a huge Brian Cox fan. Everybody must own Diabolique. I've had so many conversations with different people about this film, about the ending of this film, which I'm not going to spoil for you. But if you've not seen Diabolique, it's by Clouzot, and if you never, Henri Georges Clouzot is an amazing director. Days of Confused. Actually, I got that one here. Actually, I showed that one earlier. Didn't care for it. I'm actually surprised you didn't like Wages of Fear. It really seems like something that you would like. I think you should give it another chance, Brian, just like at a different time. But Diabolique is, it's his masterpiece. The ending, me and my better half talked about the ending for about a week afterwards and what we thought it meant. This is out of print, but they made a new Blu-ray of it, so Silence of the Lambs. This is the original Silence of the Lambs that Criterion did. For a long time, this was like one of those big out of print, everybody wanted it type of things. And I'm a fan of Silence of the Lambs. It's not my favorite of the Hannibal Lecter films. Manhunter was my favorite, but I'm from the '80s, so that's my reasoning behind that. But I haven't seen the new one yet. I hear it's really amazing. And Wolf there just vouched for it, so that's good enough for me. So was Demy a nice guy? Actually, I did. Jim Jarmusch. I like Jim Jarmusch a lot. I don't have any of his films here on Criterion, unfortunately. That's one of the directors that I've underrepresented. But I am a huge fan of Jim Jarmusch, so I would love to see more of his stuff, like in my collection. I've seen. Me and Jesse's favorite Lecter films are Manhunter. So next up is the first Criterion I ever bought, and that is Night to Remember. This is a movie that I remember very well. The best version of Titanic ever filmed, this one right here. Sorry, James Cameron, you got nothing on Night to Remember. But yeah, there's some great stuff on this. Some really great weird stuff. It has a half-hour Swedish documentary on the survivors. But what's really cool, it's got a BBC documentary, right? A BBC documentary told from the outlook of the iceberg. I kid you not. Hey, Brian, welcome, dude. We're talking Criterion tonight. I've actually gotten into my Criterion DVDs, which, I'll be honest with you, I think are more impressive than my Criterion Blu-rays. There's a better scope. This is my first Criterion DVD that I ever bought. A Night to Remember. This is the only Titanic movie you need to own, guys. Just going there. Just gonna put it there. Of course, one that is in everybody's collection, as it should be, and that is Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. Kurosawa is the guy that I pray that is the next huge box set that comes from Criterion. By the way, if you're new here, I know Uncle is new here. Brian here does the podcast Just the Discs, which is amazing. If you haven't checked it out, make sure that you check it out. He just dropped a new one recently. I know, because I actually... Did I listen to did I get to the last one yet? If I didn't, it's on my queue. But Brian does Just the Discs, and he also does another podcast with Elric Kane called Pure Cinema, which is the official podcast for the New Beverly, and you should check it out. It's really, really good. There is a Kurosawa box set, but that's the DVD box set, and it's out of print right now. But what I want, Kubrick lover, what I really want is a new Bergman-style Kurosawa Blu-ray set coming out from oh, that's true, I am on next week. I forgot that. I didn't forget it, but I forgot that it was next week. Did you see the yep. So if you like watching me here, and with good editing from Brian, I'm actually going to be on on Just the Discs, and he'll make me sound better than I am, because he's good like that. But Seven Samurai, guys, pick it up. I got the DVD edition. I definitely need to upgrade this one, but it is a great edition. One of my favorite. It's true, man. I've been saying this for a long time, because you and Steph came in here, and I've been listening. What's the name of the podcast? That's Brian's podcast, Just the Discs. If you have not listened to this is a podcast that I started listening to long before Brian came in here, actually, probably from the beginning, because I wanted a podcast that was really going to deal with the discs, with the movies, and kind of what was on them. And Brian does that perfectly. He has like different guest stars on there. Stephanie Crawford and Rob Glews are the two most, I guess, the most regular ones that shows up, and he has different people come in. Hey, Jace, man, how's it going? But if you're a movie collector of any salt at all, definitely listen to Just the Discs and Pure Cinema too. If you're a cinema lover, if you're a Criterion lover, you've got to listen to Pure Cinema. So definitely check those out. Class Turisque. This is one of my favorite films. My better half introduced this to me. I knew little about this film. It is a French film. It stars Jean-Paul Belmondo and Jean Gabin, right? Pretty sure it's Jean Gabin. No, sorry, Lena Ventura. How did I get those guys confused? Equinox is an interesting one. It's different. It's weird. It's low budget. But it's a fun little film. Equinox is one that I got to pick up. I don't have it yet. But this here is a really good film. It's a French kind of like noir gangster film. Jason, we still got to get our Western one on. I got to watch my Sartana box set before we do that, though. I got to get into that, because that's actually a really good one. But Class Turisque, if you haven't seen Jason, you haven't seen this one, Brian, guys, check this out. This is a really good movie. It's actually based on a true story. So Lino Ventura is kind of like the French Humphrey Bogart. So basically he's getting out of the business. He's done his one last score, right? So he's taken his wife and his kids. They're getting in a boat. They're leaving, right? He's getting out of it. He's going to retire with his wife and his kids. Now, his wife is killed at the beginning of the film. So it's him and his kids, and he's kind of on the lam from the police. He's hiding. Who directed this one? This was directed here. I don't remember, so I'm going to find out for you. Please have a director here. Are you serious, Criterion? Claude Sautet? I can't look it up because I can't pronounce the French name. But no, definitely, it's a great film. It's tense. It's magical. He meets John Paul Belmondo along the way. Great. It made me fall in love with the French like crime film. I did not, I've seen Rafifi and that, but I did not realize just how good the French crime dramas were. They're really, really good. Next up is another classic by Jean-Pierre Melville, and that is, there it is right there. Corey, you speak French? I'm trying to learn. I got to learn it. I'm going to Morocco, man. So another classic there, and as you can see, that is Alina Ventura there again. And you can see why he was a badass that did like those type of films, right? And this is actually a really cool one. Basically, because I want to do it right. So this follows the parallel tracks of French underworld criminal Gu, escaped from prison and roped into one last robbery, and the suave Inspector Blot relentlessly seeking him. Definitely worth checking out. So yeah, Melville. You can't go wrong with Melville. Wes Anderson. Bottle Rocket. Again, with artwork by Wes Anderson's brother. I think we both agree on Melville. Kubrick lover. He's just amazing. And I did. I think that was a fun film. Next up is one by Noah Baumbach. I actually bought this at a Value Village. And that is Kicking and Screaming, a film by Noah Baumbach. I actually do like this one. I think I'd seen it, but I didn't remember it very well, so I grabbed it. It was like a $2 buy, a $1.99 buy at Value Village at the time, and I did kind of have fun with it. Next up is the one is The Life Aquatic, and again, not one of my favorite Wes Anderson films. I do enjoy it. It's quirky. It's kind of fun. It's at times I feel it's more quirky for the sake of being quirky, but I do like the film. I think there's one film in my Criterion collection that actually, as a film, I don't like, and you haven't seen it yet. It sounds stupid, but it works better. If you like Wes Anderson, it works better than it sounds, like much of his stuff. Doesn't read well on paper, works better when you actually see it. But this everybody must see. Eyes Without a Face. It abruptly ends. I do love Bowie, and he was, named Artist of the Century. Never seen Eyes? Dude, see Eyes. It's actually really good. See, that's the thing. Everybody's got a favorite, and it's going to be different, Uncle. So my favorite Wes Anderson film is Darjeeling Limited. Nobody likes that one but me. Your favorite is Life Aquatic, and a lot more people like that than like the one that I like. But that's the cool thing about like being a movie fan, is that everybody's got their favorites, and they don't have to be the same. And they can still be in the same ballpark. It's still a Wes Anderson film. It's just what hits you. Yeah, definitely watch Eyes, man. It's really good. It's about three brothers going to on a trip to kind of visit their mom. That's it's really the best way that I can put it. Owen Wilson does a good job in it. I thought it was well done. I thought everybody did a good job in it. Oh no, Eyes Without a Face. Eyes Without a Face is about this one was like. It is not. See, that's the thing. Don't use the word pretentious. Because what you consider to be pretentious, some people it's going to be some of their favorite films, and vice versa. Which is a good place to start. Henri Georges Clouzot, definitely Diabolique. is a great one. Claude Chabrol, a lot of his stuff is really good. Jacques Demy. It all depends on what you really like. Like everybody here has different tastes, and that's kind of the cool thing. But we all love film, so that's that's the thing. That's the thing here. And hopefully this is not your only time here. Hopefully you're going to come back and be like a regular part of the movie club, because we love that. Yes, somebody loves Darjeeling Limited. Me and Hoax have a lot of the same tastes. Tunes of Glory. Great film. Not always an easy watch. But I did like it. It has Alec Guinness and John Mills, right? Yeah, John Mills in this one here. And it's kind of a class film. But like a dueling class type of thing. Basically, is it... One guy is kind of like he's on his way out, and the other guy is coming in. Definitely worth checking out. I really don't know how to describe it right now. The next one I'm super proud of, because this one I know is out of print, but you can get it, and like in other versions and stuff too. But this is Le Corbeau, and this is by Clouzot, by the way. So this is the French director that I mentioned. Le Corbeau is really, really good. Hey, welcome, Ben. I do some earlier ones too. Recently, I've done some earlier ones, and I will be trying to do that as well, because this is actually kind of late for me right now. I actually really like this film. I don't want to give too much away, but basically, I mentioned what it says on the back. A mysterious writer of pies and pen letters, known only as Le Corbeau, the Raven, plagues a French provincial town, exposing collective suspicions and rancorous secrets seething beneath the community. So if that interests you, and it should, definitely check it out. This is one case where the original edition, I'm not sure if this one got a Blu-ray yet or not, I think it does, wasn't the best DVD. Unibaba. So I have this one as well. The print is okay. It's not like, there's a better print actually that was put out by, I think, by Eureka, but this is a beautiful film. It's almost a silent film. Like there's words in the film, but it's almost like Voodoo knows this. It's almost a silent film in the way that this is done. And the mask in the movie, it actually kind of creeps me out when I see it in like magazines and stuff like that. Much like the London After Midnight makeup that freaks me out. That this one also kind of does freak me out. Westerns. Jace is here. He'll understand this. Do I have Fiend Without a Face? I don't have it yet, Brian. I need to get Fiend Without a Face because that's my type of cheese. You know it is. And definitely one that I have to grab. Anything that has like flying brains, man, I'm all about that. I am so all about that. The Furies. I'm a huge Barbara Stanwyck fan. And The Furies is one that I've watched and rewatched and rewatched and rewatched. It is a Western. I think that she does an amazing job in this film. It goes against like some of the tropes that you would see at the time. Kurokino? Actually, I don't have that one, but I do have to get it. Check out The Furies. It is a really good film. If you can get this edition, much like a couple of the others I mentioned, it does. Yeah, give Glass a chance, man. I would give it a chance. Forget the critics. Go in, like, I wouldn't go in expecting a M. Night Shyamalan like style like ending twist. I don't think you're going to get that. It's part of a trilogy. There'll be maybe some twists, but I don't think it's going to be like, oh my god, a huge shock at the end type of thing. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I'd say go in expecting it to be like a regular film. Yeah, Walter Euston is. And this is the book. I love the fact that it's an actual novel, an actual full novel, real reading. I'm such a geek for books and that too. You don't have this one? Oh, dude. Trust me, Brian. This is really good. like really, really good. All right, so I've only got a few more there, but let's do it. Lady Snowbug collection. I do agree. I have like an edition of it, but I don't have that edition. I did like jazz hands for a second, guys. I just realized I kind of have a freakishly large grip with my hands, and my hands aren't that big, so I don't know where that comes from, but I do. So, you did, and it's right here, Rosemary's Baby. I fell in love with this movie at a young age. It's one that I definitely saw when I was very young. But I've always enjoyed it, and I know that the director is controversial, and I don't want to get into that type of stuff. But unlike certain other directors, that I can watch this. I couldn't get into it. Like, I didn't really get the appeal of the 100 Years of Olympics. That's one that I don't know. It didn't. It could be really good, and it seems like something that I would watch actually, but kind of like the 30 on 30. I don't own it, but I've seen some of it, and what I saw that I liked. But I don't know if I would spend that much money on it if I got it at a really, really good price. No, I'm not gonna buy $300. I'm sorry. If I didn't buy if I didn't buy Bergman Cinema for like 150, there ain't no, and sorry, 180, $200 really. I'm not going to buy like 100 Years of Olympics for like 300. I'm saddened to see that the Bergman Cinema set has gone up to $800. That is really sad. I hope they do a second printing. To Be or Not to Be. See this? Watch this. This is really good. Ernst Lubitsch is a fantastic director, and thank God, Brian. To Be or Not to Be was one that when I saw it, I hadn't seen it in years. I had forgotten it, and I forgot what a damn good movie this is. Jack Benny's actually really good in this. Carl Lombard, sadly this is her last role. If I'm correct, I think that she passed after this film. She was very young actually. But To Be or Not to Be, great film. Highly recommended. There's like a short on here as well. And one that I strongly like. Me and Brian are lovers of To Be or Not to Be. Not for everybody, but I really enjoyed it. This it's done by Frankenheimer, and it is Seconds. Again, I'm a huge fan of Seconds. This is one that I caught basically back in the day on TV. I didn't catch the beginning of it at first, so I was like looking for it for about a year before I actually found out what the name of the film was. And then I got on VHS, and then later on when I found out that Criterion was putting out, I knew I wanted my better half to see this movie because this is a really, really good film, and she's a fan of like sci-fi as well, and this definitely is a sci-fi. No, a lot of other like shows and stuff have taken from this, like you'll take from stuff that is influential to you from Seconds. It actually is really good. Rock Hudson is amazing in that film. Because Master Cinema version. Master Cinema is nothing to sneeze at. They do some amazing stuff, man. The Female Prisoner Scorpion movies are underrated, and I don't have them, and it kills me. I have to get them. The Devil's Backbone. This is actually number 666 of the Criterion collection. I'm a huge Del Toro fan. This is probably one of my faves. I'm not sure if this is one that everybody is going to enjoy, but this is one that I particularly enjoy. I like Kronos. I like Devil's Backbone. I have weird taste. But one of my all-time favorite silent comedies is in my hand right now. And you know what that is? Is it Charlie Chaplin? Is it Buster Keaton? It's neither of those, actually. And I grew up on a lot of silent films. And safety last. If nobody has picked this up, if there's somebody out there that does not have this in their collection, yeah, Harold Lloyd. This, see, what's your guess? This is one of my favorites. See this sequence here. This scene is known by pretty much everybody. Most people don't know what the movie's from, and a lot of people, when they see it, thinks that this is what it hedges on. But the thing is, the brilliance of this film is it is an everly increasing crescendo to get to this spot. No, this is Harold Lloyd. Harold Lloyd still, to this day, actually remains usually right, highly underrated. What's really great about this release is this is a really good, Brian agrees, to go in to Harold Lloyd, because this release here has a 108-minute documentary on the life of Harold Lloyd. So if you want to go in and you want to start a collection, a silent film collection, and you want to get like one Harold Lloyd, this is the one. Grab this one. He did a lot of good stuff. Grandma's Boy, a lot of really good films, but this is the one to get first. This is, Brian's, as that is one of his top 5. I would definitely put it up there in my top 5 when it comes to like silent as well. And Holly, this release right here is amazing. Freshman. The Freshman is a really good film. Speaking of underrated French comedians, there is Pierre Artaud. I knew very little, I'm not going to lie, about him before I actually watched this film, this set. I think I'd seen one, and my better half, she's seen them all. She does speak French. So this is actually really fun. It has a few different films on it, some shorts. Pierre Artaud is kind of, I hasten to say like Charlie Chaplin-esque, but he's like kind of the opposite Chaplin. Like the physical humor is there. It's just he makes a significant effort to be not Chaplin. Oh, Corey, have a great evening there, man. And yeah, definitely come back, comment on if you see something here that you want to check out. So this is a great set, actually. There's like, it's a 3-disc set. It has like Rupture, Happy Anniversary, The Suitor, As Long as You Got Your Health, Feeling Good, Le Grand Amour, and Land of Milk and Honey. So if you've never checked these out, there are some really, really good things on here. Like I said, this is one of those ones where you go in blind and you get pleasantly surprised. Always pick, whenever a Criterion sale goes on, this is my recommendation right here. Pick some stuff pick some stuff you want, pick some classics, and save up enough money to pick one blind buy. Every time you do a Criterion haul, every time you're picking out a few Criterion, say you're not just getting one, you're getting like 2, 3 or 4, put money aside out of those 3 or 4, and pick, the same as Charlie Chaplin and stuff like that. It's like much like of a physical comedian. Have a good night there, Corey, and check out his song. Wow. Hashtag wow. Yeah, always pick a blind buy with Criterion. I always think that it's one of the most fun things to do during Criterion sale. Pick one like that you don't know anything about and blind buy it. Hey, Uncle George. I had an Uncle George? My next door neighbor, actually. Uncle George and Aunt Ruth. Speaking of Chaplin, this may not be his most funny film, but it's one of his most underrated, and that is Monsieur Verdot. He definitely was making a political statement when he made this film, a strong one, and it's cleverly done. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Check this out anyway. Great one. I got the 1970s thing. Gate of Hell. This is one I picked up kind of blind. I've seen it once. It wasn't completely blind, but I got it on eBay for actually really cheap. I picked up with a couple others. Not a bad film, actually. This, like I said, I don't think there's a Fritz Lang film I don't like. If there is, I don't remember it. But I did like Ministry of Fear. I really, really like Ministry of Fear. This kind of flew under the radar. It just kind of came in there. Wasn't a lot like a hoopla about it. They just kind of put it out, put an interview on it. Fairly inexpensive. Definitely, this is a cheaper one. Usually runs for like 14 bucks, like on Blu-ray even. So in $9.99 usually on DVDs during the Barnes & Noble sale. Ministry of Fear is a really good, kind of a solid little chase thriller, and really enjoyed this one. So Fritz Lang, can't go wrong with Fritz Lang. One of my early reviews, and at the time I was proud of it. I'm not quite sure if I look back on it now if I'd be really proud, but was for this one right here, Purple Noon, with Alain Delon, and this is a René Clément film, and this is the Talented Mr. Ripley. So this is the original Talented Mr. Ripley, guys. This, of course, is by Patricia Highsmith, and oh, this is Alain Delon, the French actor. Big Heat is fantastic. See, Lang, you can't do no wrong. Oh, you can definitely. You can enjoy watching Criterion, whether you're having popcorn or pizza, or a few cheeseburgers. My God, I want a cheeseburger right now. Damn this diet. Okay, Purple Noon. Love this edition of the Talented Mr. Ripley. There's been many Mr. Ripley films. Check this one out. Alain Delon is amazing. See, Hitchcock really wanted to do this movie. He really wanted to make the Talented Mr. Ripley, called here Purple Noon. He didn't get that one. He was very upset about that. So he made sure that he got the next Patricia Highsmith novel that came out, no matter what. I don't have Walkabout, but I did do Picnic at Hanging Rock, the Blu-ray edition with the book. So watch that back afterwards. Yeah, right. He got Strangers on a Train. That's what I'm going to talk. I don't have it here. Actually, I don't think I've got. Do I have Strangers on a Train? I should have it here somewhere. It wasn't on any of the Hitchcock sets that I got though, which is a damn shame. But the next one I'm going to show you, I'm not going to lie, this is going to make me like a 10-year-old again, because it always does every time I show it and every time I watch the film. Godzilla. I love this film, and this is a serious one. This is not like the later ones, but I am excited that the later ones are coming out, and I have to do this. I'm sorry, I always have to do this every time that I show this. Are you ready? I'm like, I love this. This is so awesome. Come on, Brian. Even you gotta. Come on. At least one of you guys right now are secretly making the Godzilla yell. I know you are. I don't have the Third Man. I do have the Man Who Fell to Earth, not by Criterion though. I actually bought the Anchor Bay edition of that. I found it at a store that was actually closing down. Godzilla. I'm sorry, I become a 5-year-old every time I see that. Another one that was kind of a blind buy. I hadn't seen every film on the set. The grandfather of the French New Wave of cinema. If you ask any Godard, Fellini, who they looked up to, there was one guy that stood out among the rest. And anybody that likes French New Wave cinema knows who it is. Kubrick lover is probably saying it right now. Are you serious? You didn't know that it popped out until you sold it? Get it back! It's so cool! And that is Jean Vigo. This is a really good release. I definitely recommend this one here. It has his filmography on here, which unfortunately, because he passed early, was much too little. Now Vigo is the guy that actually literally just brought New Wave cinema exists because Jean Vigo influenced that many people. The French New Wave existed because definitely because of him, through a large part. And not only that, but he made a film here called Zero de Conduite. And if you've ever seen the movie If with Malcolm McDowell, and you've never seen Zero de Conduite, you really got to go back and see Zero de Conduite, because that is where If the comes from. How much did you watch Zero de Conduite? That's Artificial. I don't have any from Artificial Eye, actually. Maybe it's a company I got to look into. But yeah, so their films on this one are, then so there's some shorts, some definitely shorts, like Apropos de Nice, 23 minutes long, silent short, Terrace, which is a 9-minute long one, Zero de Conduite, which actually runs at 44 minutes, and of course the feature-length film, La Italianti, runs at 83 minutes. Unfortunately, that's his entire filmography. That is old Jean Vigo. I don't think I'm going to get many people that aren't going to say good things about this. This is Kubrick's The Killing, and it is really, really good. If you're a fan of The Dark Knight, then you're probably going to know a bit about The Killing, especially the opening sequence of The Dark Knight. Takes, like, from this, Christopher Nolan's a huge noir fan. There's a strong reason for that. A great film. Sterling Hayden is amazing in this. Vince Edwards, incredible film. Heist films are always kind of really fun. My better half has a huge love for a heist film, so that was something we had to have. Now to get back into some silent stuff, got the air release, is Modern Times, the classic Charlie Chaplin film. One I'm going to say, yep, I do strongly recommend it. And there we go. I got to put all these back. This is going to be killer, man. Now I'm going to show you the only Criterion that I have in my collection that I don't really like the film. That I bought legitimately because the Criterion name was on it. And it was super cheap. And a lot of people love this movie. I don't know if that was Chevy Chase's, or I think it was a different film just with the same title. I don't know if I consider that a remake of Modern Times. And this is the one right here. A lot of people love this movie. I don't. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Maybe I saw it at the wrong time. I've watched it a couple times. It kind of bores me. Technically, like the makeup stuff, that stuff was well done. But okay, I guess I'm not the only person. But I actually bought this at a $5 bin at Walmart. Not a big fan. You know what? I actually forgot. I like this film so little. I actually forgot that was Fincher. So good call, because I didn't even remember that it was Fincher. Oh, this makes sense, because I am of the minority that was not a huge fan of Forrest Gump either. So yeah, okay. So that was not meant for me either way. There's two more, and they're weird, but they're fun. Oh yes, House. This is brilliant. It is weird, but it is brilliant. Check this out. I don't want to say anything except just if you've never this is extremely weird. So, a little bit of backstory. Jaws had come out. So the director of this film here was a Japanese director, and he said, you know, I'm going to make my, give me some money, I'll make a Jaws type of film for you. Right? So, this has nothing to do with Jaws or sharks or anything like that. So he kind of lied, but it has everything to do with weird. And a lot of people, Brian, don't like House right away, but they tend to fall in love with it over time. I did kind of like it right away, though. It is weird. It's fun. There's a piano that eats. It is just brilliant, and the color schemes are gorgeous. If you've never seen the movie House, I gotta say, I strongly recommend it. Very different than the Hugh Laurie House. Next up was another blind buy that we really love, and with my better half being a marine biologist, this is one. There's a cat in it, but it's not a cat like horror. I wouldn't call it a cat horror movie. Is this one right here? No, that's not The House with William Catman. This is a earlier 70s one. That's a Japanese horror film. And this is Science is Fiction, 23 films by Jean Penlevy. Highly recommend this, actually. It's really kind of cool. And what it has some like some of his science films that oh no, this house has nothing to do with the William Cat version. It's a weird film. A lot of like really kind of strange stuff. Here I'll just like the seahorse, liquid crystals, how some jellyfish are born, sea urchins. If you've ever seen any of those like Walt Disney style documentaries, but you want to see them like beautifully, artfully, even more artfully done than they were, then this is something to check out. It's a bit of a weird one. It's a bit different, and I just realized I've got 2 more Criterions to show you, damn it, because there's 2 that I forgot I had up here. So first off, and this one's been redone as a Blu-ray. Oh, I love The History of Time. I'm a huge fan of Stephen Hawking, and I've read the book, but I don't. Do I own it? Not the Criterion edition. No. I guess I don't own it right now. I thought it was one we owned. So, so this is the Samurai trilogy. This is on Blu-ray. It's a much better edition of this now. But this is the original one that came out. This is the original classic edition of it. And I'll just open it up really quickly for you guys. Samurai Run with Mushi Miyamoto. There's Samurai 2 Duel at that place. And Samurai 3 Duel at that other place. I like samurai films. I picked this one up for actually fairly cheap at a record store, and I had to have it. Next up is Monsters and Madman. Yes, yes, yes. This is awesome. Get this. Next time you're doing like a classic, like it's coming around Halloween time, you said I'm gonna do some classic horror. Haunted Strangler. Yes, it's a must. Oh yeah, Karloff, man. We got Corridors of Blood on here. Really fun. My favorite on here is the Haunted Strangler. Awesome film. And if you like cheesy sci-fi films, we got The Atomic Submarine and The First Man into Space. And just look how amazing the artworks look on this. It is very kind of like pop art and very, very cool stuff. The Haunted Strangler is the one that really sold me. I needed to have that one. And there's the new Karloff set coming up from Screen Factory, by the way, the Karloff Lugosi set. And I'm very excited about that. I probably have them, but I don't care. I'm definitely going to be upgrading them to Blu-ray. But there you guys go. My entire Criterion collection. I'm excited for the Karloff Lugosi set as well. Some people were like dissing on it, like, oh, I don't want the Karloff Lugosi set, and I'm like, really? Are we going to go there? So these aren't going to go. Normally I'm totally OCD, and these would go back in the right numerical order. Tonight, however, nope. They're going back, and tomorrow I'll do them back in numerical order, because I'll wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my God, my Criterions are not in numerical order, and I'll have to do that. You don't know any Scream Factory titles, man? There's some great stuff. I did like a Scream Factory like thing. I'll do one again in the future on like Scream Factory company. I do take requests there. All except for singing and dancing. I don't do any of that. But I do take movie requests. Like I said before, I do still have to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre retrospective. I'm going to be doing that in the near future. That's something that I'm looking forward to. By country and director. Interesting. If there's numbers on the side, oh yes, man. Scream Factory are known for their slasher stuff. They put out some of the best slasher stuff out there right now. I'm a huge fan of Urban Legend. I think that's one that, and then Valentine is actually just dropped in price. That's going to be coming out on February the 12th, along with the Poison Ivy set. And Aaron's got to have them both. I'm not going to lie to you. Those are going to be under Aaron's. Like my birthday's March 31st, and I already like put those on my list of ones that I wanted. Yes, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. I don't have that one. I don't think it's too grainy. I kind of love that old feel. But yeah, there's like a few different things that came out. So Vinegar Syndrome announced their February package. Like their total February package. They announced a couple of the films earlier. So being the unofficial Vinegar Syndrome person on YouTube, that's kind of what I became. I thought it's probably time to mention what they're doing for February. So what are some movies that should be on Criterion? I have weird taste, so I would have but the couple of the ones that I mentioned before, and some Kubrick. You think Kubrick? Well, of course you think Kubrick. You're a Kubrick lover. But yeah, no, definitely Lolita, for sure. If that's not on Criterion, right? I would love Lolita. I really love Lolita. Popeye, actually, not even a joke. I actually do like Popeye. But the thing is, there are companies out there now that, After Hours, a great choice, that are doing things almost just as good as Lolita, yes, bar none, that are doing things just as good as Criterion. There are companies out there like Arrow Academy, Shout Select is very underrated in the stuff that they do. So there's a lot of like companies out there that are legitimately giving Criterion a run for their money in the way that they do their stuff. When Indicator puts out a release, I know it's going to be a quality release. I know that it's going to look good. I know that the features are going to interest me, and I know the booklet is going to be something fast runner. I do kind of remember it. But if you want Criterion style movies, there's Wacko. Super Mario Brothers. There's a Criterion movie for you. And movies like that they would never do on Criterion, like Party Line with Leif Garrett. How can you not have that as a Criterion release? A Battle for the Lost Planets. Just amazing Criterion style films. And what's the other one they put on there? I guess is an adult one, is Tinseltown. Joe Don Baker. Are we talking about Mitchell? Joe Don Baker's. Because I kind of really love Joe Don Baker's work. He's just cool. And for people that just came in, Brian, don't know if you saw this or not, or Uncle, George, Walmart just released these, and I got one. I'm so excited. So this is the Blu-ray actually put in a clamshell, an actual clamshell, not like the Mill Creeks, not like a slipcover, or it doesn't just look like a clamshell or give the illusion of a clamshell. It actually is a clamshell case. Now, for people that just came in, this is not the only one. that's out there. So I'll go to Cinema One, which is a store here in Canada, which is not unfortunately far away from me. But also, there is E.T. the Extraterrestrial clamshell case. There is the Fletch clamshell case. There is the Backdraft of, like this one right here, The Breakfast Club, 16 candles. Jaws has a clamshell case. That's awesome. Tell me you don't want a clamshell of Jaws with the nice Blu-ray. Dude, you gotta get this. This is awesome. Forget the bulkiness. Are you young, Dekatan? And Slapshot. And if I see Slapshot in a store, it's a cheesy like Paul Newman film, like hockey film that I like. I will definitely get it. Like, yeah, and I'll grab the Criterion of this. But there's no way in hell that a collector like myself. These are limited edition, by the way. So grab these while they're around, because they're not going to stay in print. And like was mentioned earlier, the Stranger Things ones did a similar one to this, but this actually is like a clamshell, as opposed to ones that kind of like allude to it or are sort of like it. Hey, yeah, Ansem, perfect. You do know them. You do know Slapshot. This is the exact feel of a VHS case. This is the closest, guys, you guys are going to get, unless you go into a store which sells VHS, to having a VHS in your hand. So you got the VHS aesthetic. You got these cool things that are going to look amazing. Admit it. This is going to look amazing on in any collection. And yet you open it up, you got your Blu-ray. See, comes out fairly easy. Hopefully. I always got to remember how to do these. Not easy. Smoke up, Johnny. Oh, there we go. It is easy. And this one here did come with the 30th anniversary edition. It's not the Criterion, but it is the 30th anniversary edition, which actually is a very good edition of this film, with a great 12-part documentary. Rewind, and some other great features on here as well. My favorite John Hughes movie, and one of my favorite movies of all time. Everybody had somebody that they related to in this film when they watched it. If you're young enough, to watch it at the time that you should be watching it. For me, this Bender was the guy that I related to. Nowadays, I think I would relate more to the geek. That would totally be me. But honestly, the weirdo, those are the guys I related to. The weirdo, the Ali Sheedy character, that was probably close to me. Heathers, I love that movie. See, and if any movie has like rewatchability factor, Breakfast Club has amazing rewatchability factor. So much so that, you know what I'm going to do right now after doing a 100 and almost 40-minute video here for you guys tonight. So hopefully you guys liked it and you enjoyed it. Please feel free to tweet out this video, because more people that can see this, the better. That Criterion know that I'm talking about them. Coming up on Shudder in November, somebody just mentioned Shudder, is a documentary on black horror cinema. I'm really, really looking forward to that. That's going to be something, that's like one of the things I'm super, super stoked about. So make sure you check Risky Business. Sometimes you just got to say, okay. Yes, do. Please hit the like button. It's much appreciated. Share, and if you really, really do like this video, tweet it out. Let people know that us odd bunch of like weirdos get together here in this little club place to talk about like films and cinema and all kinds of great things like that. So Hope you enjoyed this Voodoo Magic. Go back to the beginning. You'll see like some of the other stuff that I did here. This was definitely a request one that I really enjoyed doing. I didn't intend to do the Blu-rays and the DVDs tonight. I was going to like space it out, but I get ahead of myself. I did that. Thank you guys for watching. I am Aaron. If you haven't checked out, like, make sure you check out the videos that are on from people that are on there. Make sure you check out Brian's podcast, Pure Cinema, and Just to This. Definitely check that out. Everybody in here, you got videos that you want to show. Kubrick Lover just did a haul video. Make sure to check that out. And it's been an amazing ride, as always. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for joining me here in the movie library. I am Aaron. You are the Movie Club, and you guys are awesome. I'll see you later.